far as like I watched your documentary on Archetype, and you guys were talking about how you used a different strategy for making the music as you had on previous albums, where you actually wrote melodies around the music as opposed to adding the lyrics at the end of the process. And I was just wondering if you did the same thing with Transgression as you did with Archetype.
Transgression was definitely an experiment. Did pretty much the same thing with Transgression. There was a lot of stress involved. The label was very adamant about the deadline, and so to me this is a very rushed record. I did not have the opportunity to spend as much time on the vocals as I could have done in the past for like Archetype or Immortal, Obsolete, blah blah blah. But yes, we did the same thing. But the next record, I think I want to try an old technique again, another experiment. And you know, because in the past we did write, my voice was another instrument as they were writing, and as they were writing I would come up with something and they would hear it, I'm like, wow, you know, a melody would be created through a guitar piece or something like that, or a rhythm would be created by something that I was doing.
Awesome.
So that would be an experiment I'd like to try.
Do you think that you could attribute your success to any one particular song, or is there one that you think that stands out?
Well, I think the name Fear Factory really got a lot of exposure was on the Mortal Kombat soundtrack with Zero Signal. And I think that song really, it sums up a lot of Fear Factory, you know. It was off a record called Demanufactured, which really put Fear Factory on the map. You know, Soul in the Machine, Fierce Mind Killer came out and confused a lot of people. But when Demanufactured came in, it was a total you know, amalgamation of both those records. Zero Signal is probably the quintessential Fear Factory song. Aggressive parts, heavy industrial type beats, but some very fast riffing, and you know, it has aggressive vocals with singing vocals, and it has melody. And you know, in 1995 when that record came out, and that type of music, that was unheard of.
You were the pioneers of that style.
In some ways,
absolutely.
You know, I mean, and to be honest, I mean, we've been influenced by a lot of bands, all different types of bands, and I am emulating my favorite vocalists from all different ranges, all different sides of music, and because I'm not really a great singer, it comes out my way. So this is my interpretation of my favorite singers, but I guess I have a distinct voice nowadays. So I would say Zero Signal is that first song that really set the exposure for Fear Factory. Everyone likes it.
So what I was asking you before was about how you reinvent yourself every single time that you create a CD or album. And I was wondering if that was accidental or if, because you're so hard to categorize.
Well, like, you know, we've never wanted to be labeled. You know, that was one intention. And basically, we thrive on experimentation. We thrive on pushing ourselves to the limits, beyond musical genres, beyond labels, you know, and we just try to be the best band that we can, and then, you know, if there's something that we're interested in, we'll try and incorporate into the band. You know, it's been true every record. I guess they've had a hard time categorizing us because we just don't really fit in anywhere. And I think that is an achievement, an accomplishment, to put out a record and everyone says, well, it sounds like Fear Factory, and instead of going, well, it sounds like, you know, this band or this band. So that's something I'm proud of. And you know, we've been throwing everybody off ever since Soul in the Machine came out. People had discussions about, wow, they're a death industrial band, but they got a tambourine on and he sings. Well, that's not death metal. I'm like, well, yeah, it's not death metal. It's not really industrial either. It's something different that we want to create. And it's just the talents of everybody coming together, and that's what the music, all of our influences and everything that we like comes into play into this big pot, and we just mix it together. And it's been like that ever since. You know, doing remixes, me trying to become a better vocalist, because I'm not really a singer.
You're an awesome singer.
No, I've never had vocal training. I'm not really a singer. There's real singers out there. And
I was nuts about you before I ever knew what you looked like. It was your voice. It was your voice that totally got me.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank
Seriously.
you. And you know, I just do the best that I can, and that's all I can say. You know, the words and the voice is truly my passion, it's my soul. And maybe that's, the real thing about it. It's nothing's fake about it.
There's a lot of criticism that goes along with being a band of your caliber.
Well, honestly, everyone's got an opinion, be it bad or good. Everyone has to criticize. The best advice I ever got was when this band started, and it was from another musician who was, I think it was Jim Martin from Faith and More. He said, don't ever read your press. Bad or good, don't read it. What keeps me going, what keeps us going, is that there are people that get it. There are people that have an open mind and want to hear something different. And that's why we're on tour. Those people are going to come here tonight. That's the reason why I play on stage, is to play my music for those who are interested.
Are you still fed up with the music industry today, or do you feel you have successfully bitten the hand that has bled you?
In some ways, well, yeah, the music industry is very irritating. The industry likes to shove crap down our throats. They like to program people, and the more people there are and the more bands there are, the more crap there is. They're still needing to learn about how to work with artists and how to evolve with the changing times, with the technology and the internet and all that stuff. Have I been the hand that bleeds me? I have in a lot of ways. With we've severed our ties with Roadrunner. I'm free of a lot of other things as well. I'm more like a free agent in a lot of respects. So I'm able to do much more things. But I'll tell you, it doesn't matter if the label only has 2 people working for it or the label has 200 people working for it. All labels are the same. They're nothing but a bank, and they want to make their money. And a lot of people think they can run a record label, and in the long run they can.
I'm just so glad you're persevering through all of that, staying with it.
We suffer for our art, don't we? And in the long run, I am living my dream. I'm doing what I want to do. If I had to do something else to make money, I will, but I would rather do this. I'd rather be playing music, being artistic, writing words.
What do you think you'd be doing if you weren't doing this?
Well, I would definitely try and find a job, try to make some money, but I would definitely be doing something creative no matter what, musically, writing or photography or something. I'll do something creative, but I'm not above working a 9-to-5 job or an outdoor job or slinging hamburgers. I'm not above that. A job's a job. You gotta do what you gotta do. A job doesn't make you who you are. That just pays your bills. It doesn't make you who you are, and that's what I've always believed.
To Ascension of the Watchers, which incidentally I purchased not too long ago from the internet.
It's quite different, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's got your voice on it, so
yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, and that's what it is. Ascension of the Watchers is my voice. It's the music that's in my head, and it's the words that I write. It's entirely, it's conceptual as well. I'm a nut about concepts. I can't get it over. It makes it more of an artistic endeavor for me, more of a challenge. But all the music with the Watchers, it starts off with me playing a guitar riff, and we just build it from there. And the last thing to put down is my vocals. If anyone's ever wondered where the melody side of Fear Factory comes in and where these ideas come from, they come from my head. This is my soul speaking, and it translates with Fear Factory differently than it does with Ascension of the Watchers, because Ascension of the Watchers is purely me.